Hi, I'm Tim and you're watching MrTimTech's YouTube channel. That's me. I was recently contacted by a company called Alta Labs and they wanted to send me some products to review and test and do some videos on to bring to you and show you their products. So I'm now in receipt of a couple of boxes from Alta Labs, and in this box we have the Alta Labs AP6 Pro 4x4 dual band enterprise access point. Looks like in a nice box, nicely packaged in the black box with the Alta Labs logo on each side, and then at the end it's got AP6 Professional. So it's the AP6 Pro. So we'll put that to one side and we'll do an unboxing of it and we'll go through the specs. And in the other box we have an Alta Labs, and this is the S8 PoE, which is an 8-port enterprise PoE switch. So it's in a nicely packaged box again, and yeah, this is an 8-port enterprise PoE switch. So we'll go through and do an unboxing of this and go through the specs. So we'll do a setup video in the second one. We'll get it tied into the Alta Labs cloud-based controller. Now, however, with the cloud-based controller, I've been assured that Alta Labs are going to be sending me another box in due course, which is going to be something to do with controlling it locally rather than in the cloud. So I won't say too much about that, but once I get the box, I will show you it and we'll do an unboxing of that. And we'll go through the specs and set up that as well, instead of having it in the cloud. So we'll get on with the unboxing of these now and then go through the specs. And here we are with the Alta Labs AP6 Professional. So we'll have a look and see what's inside the box. Opening the box, we have a little piece of foam in the lid which protects the access point below from shocks and damage. So inside the box we have here the actual access point itself. So as you can see, this is an oval designed access point with the Alta Labs just to the top of the access point left hand side, and in the middle there's an LED strip, so it's a line, and there's a plastic cover on the back of the access point there protecting it. And again, looking at the back with the angle the opposite way round, we have the Alta Labs logo, which is embossed in the center here, and this is actually in the center. There's a square with a grid where the logo is, and this is actually a heat sink, I believe. And just to the left here we have the reset button. So it's the factory reset button here, and it is actually a button that you can press rather than having a reset. Now actually I like this design because you don't have to faff about with one of those pins or, you know, the mobile phone SIM card removal tools to actually reset it. However, you know, some could say that the reset button could be accidentally pressed. However, because this is mounted on a wall or ceiling, for example, like that, there's no way to easily press the reset button without actually taking it off the ceiling or off the wall or the pole if you want to pole mount it. So you can actually pole mount it, you can ceiling mount it, and you can mount it on the wall. And of course you can actually sit it on your desk or a shelf, for example, if you wanted to as well. So looking at the access point at the back again, as I said, we have the Alta Labs logo, and this is on a heat sink. And at the top we have the barcode, serial number, so on, and the name, and it's a 4x4 dual band enterprise access point. And the input is powered by PoE, and it's PoE 42.5 to 57 volts, and it consumes 0.5 amps. So it's 0.5 amps as the power consumption. And looking at the back again, we have the PoE in, so that's the RJ45 connection, and that is PoE, so it's powered by PoE. There's no alternative option. It's just powered by PoE, so that's the only option you need actually. Why power it with power cable? So you just do it with one cable, which is PoE supplied. And of course, in a moment, just leading on to what we're unboxing next, at the side here is the Enterprise PoE switch, and of course it supplies PoE, so it's quite, useful for this access point. It has some weight to it, and I have to say it's very solid built. I think the back is actually solid metal. The front is actually, I think, ABS plastic, so it is actually very solidly built, very strong, not easily damaged. I actually like the design with it being oval as well. Just nice, it would fit nicely on a ceiling, and it looks aesthetically pleasing as well. So that's the access point. Now, looking in the box again, we have the quick start guide, and this is in multiple languages. So we'll just open it up quickly. Yeah, we have the quick start guide there. It's in various languages, and we also have the QR code as well on the front. So we'll just put that to one side. Then in the box we have the mounting plate. This is supplied in a plastic bag with screw holes in it, and this just goes to the back, so you'd fix it on the wall or the ceiling, whichever. And then you do is clip the access point on, so clip it on and twist, and it will lock in place. Can't show you it easily without being mounted, but yeah, that's how that works. And in the box we also have a metal plate, so this is for drop ceilings. So what you would do is put the mounting plate on the opposite side, and then the plastic mounting plate on the other side of the ceiling, and then you would fix the access point underneath like so. Or if you wanted, you could actually fix it to a pole, so a beam for example. So you could actually fix it to a beam, so you'd have that one side of the beam and then the plastic mounting plate the other, and then of course the access point underneath that. Now we also have a little packet of fittings. This is in a nice little plastic tray, and we have raw plugs in there. So there's two raw plugs, two sets of screws to go through for this drop ceiling mounting, and then there's also two screws for wall mounting the plastic. So they would go in there, and then you would mount it to the wall or the ceiling. So that's not a drop ceiling, but if you wanted to mount it to a drop ceiling, you'd use the other set of long screws there, what would go through both of them to fix the mounting brackets on. There's also some little bolts in here. Now these go on the other side of the screws to lock it in place. So hopefully you can see this. They would just twist on. So that's a good idea actually, supplying bolts like that, so you can actually easily mount them on. Or if you wanted, you could just screw them in, and they are actually threaded on this metal mounting plate. So there are threads on it as well. So you wouldn't actually need to use the other side if you didn't want to. We also have a set of 4 rubber feet, so you could actually mount it on a table using the rubber feet, or shelf, whichever you choose. So that's in the mounting pack there. And that's it for the access point box. And what we'll do is go through the specifications for this access point. Now, as I said, it's a dual band 4x4 Wi-Fi 6 access point. However, it does have Wi-Fi 7 benefits. So this means it is built on a innovative new dual band 6-stream Wi-Fi 6 networking platform with Qualcomm. The AP6 Pro incorporates 4096 QAM, so QAM, one of the primary features of Wi-Fi 7, providing a combined 6.3 gigabits per second of Wi-Fi capacity. Hence why it has the Wi-Fi 7 benefits, with it being Wi-Fi 6, because of the 6.3 gigabits per second of Wi-Fi capacity. It features a compact form factor and a sleek aesthetic design, allowing seamless integration into corporate, commercial and residential environments as well. So you can use it in the home, in corporate environments, in your home lab, whichever you want. So it is actually decently priced as well. I'm not going to give any prices because they obviously can fluctuate a bit and depending on which currency you're using. But I can honestly say in my own currency, I've seen the price and they are very reasonably priced for what you get. We have a superior range and performance, and it's also IP54 rated. So you could actually mount it outside under a recess. If your roof hangs over, for example, and it's got an overlap, you could actually mount it under the overlap there. So it is a scalable cloud-based management. So we manage it with the cloud. However, I did mention earlier in the video about a locally managed option. We'll go into that in another video. So hit that subscribe button so you're notified of when that video comes out about the local management option. We can manage it as well with the mobile app, and it has a DPI engine, UltraPass multi-password technology, and I'll go into that when we set up the access point and the switch in the cloud controller. I'll show you what the UltraPass multi-password technology is. We also have hotspot functionality, on-the-fly changes and scanning, wireless network, color coding, SSID broadcasting, flexibility, customizable dashboard, status snapshots, and also device cards. It features 4 5 GHz antennas, and the design helps it outperform 2x2 APs by an over 30% throughput increase in many cases. It has seamless roaming and is fully automatic with support for the 802.11k V and R standards. The AP6 Pro utilizes intelligent mesh formation for maximum throughput. Now, for the hardware specifications, it has a Ethernet interface and it also has Wi-Fi, so you obviously Wi-Fi interface, and also Bluetooth as well. And for the RJ45 PoE port, it is a 1 gigabit port, so it's not 2.5, it's 1 gigabit. And there's a factory reset button, which I said the LED is white or blue on the front, so this strip here is the LED, and it's powered by PoE Plus, which it can be powered of course by the Alta Labs switch, which I have at the side of me. So it's an 8-port enterprise PoE switch, or you can power it by a PoE adapter, which is optional, so that's not supplied with the access point. And the power consumption is 25 watts maximum, with 7 to 15 watts being the typical power consumption. For the throughput rate, for the 2.4 gigahertz, it's up to 573 megabits per second, and the 5 gigahertz is up to 5.8 gigabits per second. So it supports Wi-Fi 4, Wi-Fi 5, and also Wi-Fi 6. It has Bluetooth, content filtering, PoE Plus powered, 2x2 MIMO on the 2.4 gigahertz and 4x4 MIMO on the 5 gigahertz. And the maximum Wi-Fi throughput, 6.3 gigabits per second. And that's about it for the specs on this access point. So we'll put that to one side and we'll do the unboxing of the switch now. So here we are with the 8-port enterprise PoE switch. So in the box we have, in the cover, we have a piece of foam which protects the devices underneath, and inside the box we have the power brick. So let's take a look at the power brick, and we also have the power adapters. So looking at the power adapters inside, we have the UK plug, so that's the UK based one, and we have this one which I believe is for US, and this one which is for Europe. So they supply all three in the box, and here is the power brick. So what we do is clip on the UK style power plug, so that just clicks in place, and you could actually change it over if you so wish, with the power brick attached to the actual plug itself. And then we have a, which I believe is a 3.5mm power adapter, which goes into the back of the switch. So we just put these to one side for a moment. And we also have in the box a little packet of mounting screws and wall plugs. So there's 2 wall plugs and 2 screws there, so it can actually be, from that, I guess, wall mounted. And we have the Alta Labs scan for quick start guide. So here we have information in various languages, and if you scan that QR code, it will get the quick start guide for you. So in the box we have, again, a mounting plate. So this is for mounting it to a wall along with the 2 screws. So again, I'll just show you this. It's similar to the access point mounting plate, where it has the Alta Labs logo inside the bracket. So that's quite neat, and it's quite solid plastic. I think it's actually ABS. And then what we have left in the box is the switch itself. So it's in a protective bag, which is coming useful, and that bag can be reused actually. So looking at the switch, we have 8 ports across the front, and the first 4 ports, so the ports from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, are PoE plus ports. So they are the PoE ports, and then ports 5 to 8, so 5, 6, 7, 8 are non-PoE ports. However, they do other switch models. So there's a 16 port switch, and then there's also a S24 PoE, which is a 24 port switch. At the left hand side we have the Alta Labs logo. Actually, I'll just show you it powered on now. I'll just get this plugged in and I can show you the lights. So let's just plug this in, and for powering it, as I said, it's a 3.5mm plug, and this goes in the back of the switch, and the input is 54 volts and it consumes 1.3 amps. So we plug that in, and hopefully you'll see in a second, yep, all the lights are flashed on the front, as you'll see, and on the top we have the Alta Labs logo, and this is lighting up. It's actually pulsating in purple, so it's purple coloured. Whether it comes through on the video or not, I don't know, but it does actually light up with the Alta Labs logo. So we'll just have a look at the purple logo on the top there. Now it's changed to a white, so it's a whitish blue. I would say more of a white, and I think that's ready to be accepted by the controller. And what we'll do is carry on with the specs. So as I said, ports 1 to 4 are PoE plus, and then ports 5 to 8 are non-PoE. So moving across right to the right hand side, we have again the reset button, and it's not recessed. However, you do have to hold this down for a period of time to actually reset it, I believe. So it's not easy to just click the button and reset the device, which is good actually. So I like these reset buttons rather than having the recessed holes. And underneath at the bottom, we have 2 rubber feet. So these are rubber pads. So it's mounted on a desk. And again, we have the Alta Labs logo at the bottom. So the A in the design. So that's actually embossed into the plastic base. So I believe this is ABS plastic. It's not metal at all, this case. So it is actually plastic, but it feels solid and robust. So it has some a little bit of weight to it as well. So for the specs, it weighs 0.38 kilos. So it's 0.38 kilos. So it's not even a kilo in weight, but it does feel as if it has a little bit of weight to it than what you'd probably expect it to. Now for the dimensions, it's 25.7 by 91 by 180 millimeters. So the length is 180 millimeters for the width. So the depth from there to there would be 91 millimeters. The actual thickness of it, so from here to here, would be 25.7 millimeters. It's made of injection molded plastic. It has a matte finish, colour is white. Interface ports, as I said, there's 8, and they are gigabit ports, so they are 1 gigabit ports, all of those. The switching capacity for this is 16 gigabits per second, and the non-blocking throughput is 8 gigabits per second. The forwarding rate is 11.9 gigabits per second, and the PoE budget, so the maximum PoE budget for this is 60 watts, and the PoE supply is 30 watts per port, so it can support 30 watts maximum per port, and the total PoE budget for all 4 ports is 60 watts. So the first 4 ports, which are the PoE powered ones, have orange LEDs, and this is to show you which ones are supplying PoE power. Now on all 8 ports there's also another LED which is also orange if you're connected either to 10 or 100 megabits per second, or if you're using the gigabit connection, so full speed for these ports, they all light up blue, so they have blue LEDs on them. It also supports Bluetooth, and the idle power consumption is 3.4 watts, with the maximum power consumption without PoE is 8 watts, and for the maximum power consumption with full PoE, so if it's supplying 60 watts of PoE, then that power consumption would be 68 watts. So that's basically it with regard to the specifications for the 8-port switch and the AP6 Pro access point. So my final views. I like the design of these devices. They look great. Compact for the switch, supports PoE Plus on 4 ports. I mean, some might say it might have been nice to have them all PoE powered, but for the price of the switch and the size of it, I think with it being 8 ports, they're targeting this switch at small users who obviously need only 8 devices connected to their switch. So although it's enterprise class, you could actually use it, I would say, at home or in a small business environment. So it would be ideal for that. And you could actually use it in enterprise if you so wish and just link them together. But with one of the bigger switches, you could actually have this, for example, for your voice over IP telephones, because the 4 ports are PoE powered. You could have this switch dedicated to voice over IP telephones, and then one of the bigger 16 or 24 port switches for all of the computers and printers and everything on your office network. Access points, definitely home use, small business, stadium, auditoriums, churches, so on. This access point will do all, I'm sure. And of course with mesh option as well, so you could actually have a mesh network with them. Nice design, aesthetically pleasing, and it looked good on white ceiling as well. Or to be honest, I think it would look good on mounted onto a wall as well. So I think I would mount this type of access point on a wall as opposed to a ceiling, and then keep other access points, maybe another one of these on a ceiling, but it depends on your individual setup, of course. Switch can be mounted on a shelf next to your PC, so if, for example, you're running out of Ethernet ports as well, you could actually link your port that you have spare into here, and that would give you 8 more ports. So you could actually use this, for example, at the back of the TV. You could actually mount it to the back of the TV as well. So yes, let's get these devices now set up in the cloud controller, and we'll get that done in the next video. And then, as I said, in future videos, the Alta Pass will set up Alta Pass as well for this access point. So let's set this up in the next video. So hit that subscribe, keep watching. Hope you like this video, and more from Alta Labs coming in future videos. Thanks for watching. Take care.